Remember, this entire manga and every manga on this channel is hand-drawn by myself, and now you too can learn exactly how to make your own viral Dragon Ball mangas at www.makemanga.com, where you can learn directly from me. My mangas have got me on TV, on newspapers, and even earned me over $60,000 a month on Patreon alone. And now, you can click the link in the description and pinned comment of this video and do it yourself. You only need to see the website to see just how many thousands of you are taking this opportunity right now. And don't forget also, the next video to this Ultra Vegito series has already been made and is live now on my Patreon right now for over 4,500 of you incredible fans to watch after this. Again, links are in the pinned comment and description. Enjoy.
Run, you little worms!
So our story continues on a new planet, where the humbled and primitive surroundings would have seen better days, with destruction and smoke bellowing all over, as it would be overrun by Lucif's demons. And as one of the demons would walk forward with its brothers towards the next village to continue the rampage, a slight murmur would be heard behind him.
The survivor! There couldn't be! There is!
As looking on into the distance, he would suddenly see what he had thought would be a reality, as the peeking head of a lone survivor whimpering away next to some broken rocks would then be seen. And on closer inspection, the young, soon-to-be victim would be what looks like a young child, crying in pain as its body and legs quite visibly appear to be crushed under debris, leaving the youngster stuck in place. But as he would whine, the demon's foot would approach.
The whiny mortal! My favorite! Come, and let me put you out of your misery, child!
And as the villainous creature would get closer, the true extent of these demons-born sadistic, evil natures would soon become apparent. Finally now standing right before the scared frozen civilian.
Don't cry. This will all be over soon. Just one big bad dream.
As seemingly growing larger and larger by the minute, or perhaps just in the eyes of the child, the demon would then extend its muscular arms out, ready to grab onto its vulnerable victim one final time. But just as he would, right through his neck, a familiar but deadly circular saw of energy would pass right through him. His face still too stunned to even understand what had just happened. And just like that, in an eruption of spurting demonic blood, the devilish creature's head would instantly decapitate, not uttering a word, as it would fling to the side, as the circular energy attack would fly off into the distance. Leaving the shell-shocked child to just watch on, not only momentarily traumatized by the sheer violence, but also confused how they were saved. As the energy disc from before would then suddenly switch directions and return from which it came, perching itself aptly now on a certain pair of fingers. Hell yeah! Looks like I still got it! has finally revealed as a Destructo Disc, the short stature Krillin would be seen wielding the energy with a smile, as he would look towards the rest of the demons in the village and say, "Hey you guys, you ready for your turn?"
What? What did that flesh pile just do?
And in response, the 4 other demons nearby would react in pure disbelief, raising their backs and turning directly to stare at Krillin with unblinking eyes. Haha, I guess you guys do want some then. Bring it on! As the brimming now with confidence Shaolin monk would then ready himself, rotating his Destructo Disc even faster in his fingers before... Huh? It's time you left these people alone! As in a flash, after tossing his Destructo Disc one more time, 4 sharp and conclusive slices would be heard until... Just like that, all 4 demons would be brutally sliced open and slaughtered with precision, falling to the ground as deceased corpses. The signature technique of Goku's best friend had indeed not lost an inch of its edge. Ha! Should have ran when you could. Hope that little kid's not too shaken up. And with a grin on his face and all the danger now eliminated, Krillin would deactivate his Destructo Disc while simultaneously worrying about the still trapped child who had to witness it all. As he would swiftly then begin approaching the trapped alien, who would be none the wiser of whether the bald-headed figure was friend or foe, before the monk would then remove all the rubble and free the child, and turning to the sky with a thumbs up, as the kid would look at him in awe, Krillin would let out, "Hey Gohan, it's all clear down here. We've got another survivor too." And up in the sky, with his back turned, giving a thumbs up back, Son Gohan would be seen, pleased and proud of Krillin, as he would reply, "Nice work. You take care of that and come join me. It looks like we've got some more guests over here too."
Guests? This is our planet now! You're the guest!
As once we would see the next panel, Gohan would be seen with his fists raised, surrounded by 6 different demonic minions of his own, each eyeing up the young Saiyan naively, not knowing what they had just got themselves into. As Gohan, enjoying the underestimation, would bear a smirk saying, "At least you guys came prepared. I like this formation. You even seem a little stronger than the ones on Earth. Maybe I'll need some senzu beans for you guys." And with that interesting, but perhaps sarcastic comment, the adult Saiyan would begin reaching into the back of his belt, retrieving a brown bag, before lifting it in front, it of course being a bag of senzu beans, as Gohan would think, "I guess I should probably keep these as far away as possible from their grubby hands. Let's see if I can pull off an old trick of mine." As suddenly launching his arm up with force, the bag of senzu would fly sky high into the air, as Gohan meanwhile, as the demon's eyes would naturally look up in confusion, would immediately begin to vanish, still with a cunning smile on his expression. As in a literal instant, teleporting multiple times in the space of a nanosecond, Gohan would slash his hand to chop one demon's head right off, before smashing a kick upwards to separate another's entire body, until swiping it again to the right to decapitate another. All while the few left would watch on with their bodies physically unable to move fast enough to react.
Wait!
And as one could only manage to mutter out a few words of cowardice and begin to sweat, Gohan would already be on top of him, with his powerful arm pulled back before... he too would be left in pieces, instantly murdered. As Gohan, almost appearing in the exact same spot as if never having even moved, would remain with his arm still up and with the same smirking expression. Ultimately, to catch the bag of Senzu just as it would land in his hand. As of course, almost poetically, the bodies of the now dead demon fodder would fall lifelessly to the ground also. Whoa! Glad I didn't miss that! And on perfect timing, Krillin would then arrive. Impressed, but also there to explain. I took the kid to go be with the other survivors. He should be safe where we hid them. But man, these demons are ruthless. But they aren't half as bad as I thought they would be. But Gohan, keen to make Krillin not underestimate the situation, would then begin with his hands on his hips. Yeah, well I told you, Krillin. You might have been spending most of your time in the police force recently, but you're still way stronger than you think. It's been a long time since the days of Namek. You could have probably taken out Frieza if we had the current you back then. But just don't forget, there's probably going to be a stronger demon eventually. Mr. Piccolo said it could either be a demon king or a demon emperor. And we'll just have to hope it isn't the latter. Demon Emperor! But the typically worrisome Krillin, on immediate hearing of a so-called emperor, would have his imagination going wild, as he would revert back to imagining the same predator-like creature he imagined for Frieza's final form, muttering, well, I really hope they aren't as strong as Piccolo thinks then. I think I'm just about done with dying, to be honest. But soon enough, calming himself down, Krillin would break out into a nervous laughter, as he would then close his eyes and place his hand behind his back saying, I'm probably overthinking it. It can't be that bad. And besides, I have you, Gohan. But just as Krillin would place all his trust in the young Saiyan, Gohan would sense the presence of a powerful and fast-approaching energy source, freezing him in place as he would instantaneously sense his direction before... Move, Krillin! Gohan! As in a sudden turn of events, pushing Krillin aside, Gohan would take his place and be shot by a lone energy wave, piercing him instantly through the torso from one end through to the other. Gohan! Are you okay? Leaving the Saiyan stunned with wide eyes as his adrenaline would begin to calm, and Krillin, in panic, would worry over his best friend. I'm fine, don't worry! But ultimately, Gohan, despite clutching onto his injury and gritting his teeth, would feign being in good health. Not to dramatize the situation any further, as he would remind Krillin, "Remain on guard, Krillin! Whoever did this could be anywhere!" My aim was off, huh? Typical. As just as Gohan had warned, a more powerful demon would finally emerge. One with an unmistakable cowboy-like look, complete with a demonic-looking pistol. As standing confidently and almost unfazed that his attack didn't get his intended target, the level of power this demon would possess would still remain a mystery for now. And as the peculiar demon would stare on at his still smoking gun, he would then comment, "Interesting though, you just got hit and you're still standing. By a pistol gifted to me by Lord Luciv no less. You must definitely not be from this planet. Good." Huh? Over there, Gohan! As soon, with those words being overheard, the two Earthlings would finally realize where their attacker would be. As Gohan would then abruptly bite onto one of his senzu, as Krillin would comment, "Good idea, Gohan!" And instantly, as if with a mini Zenkai boost, Gohan's entire body would then overflow with energy, exploding into a vicious white aura from every pore of his skin, complete with yellow lightning sparking all around him. And as Gohan's power level would visibly rise, Krillin would just look on with a proud smile, as he would think to himself, "That's it, Gohan. Show this guy what we're made of. With you here, there's nothing to worry about. It really does feel like I'm around another Goku." As behind the bold warrior, the spirit of our Saiyan hero would be deep within his mind. But Gohan, now inching closer towards the demon ahead, would then turn his head and say, "Krillin, let me handle this. Stay behind and watch my back. There could be others." And with that warning said, Gohan would then eagerly shoot off ahead to the demon in the distance, with no fear and no knowledge of just how much of a danger he could possibly be. And within mere moments, the scholarly Saiyan would find himself landing right in front of the mysterious figure, and unflinching, with his voice slightly muffled from his mask, the demonic individual would query, "Your injuries, they're gone. Are you demon too?" "No, you're clearly mortal. Why are you here then? Trying to play hero for these weaklings? Or have you just heard of the legendary sharpshooter Red, and now seek to challenge me?" But Gohan in response would just tilt his head, smiling, saying ominously, "Here to challenge you? I'm here to kill you." As his facial expression would completely change to one of pure conviction, emulating a Gohan of the past with the confidence he once had when he first faced a certain Super Boo. Stunning the demon with his completely overbearing self-belief, as he would yell, "Kill me? Who exactly do you think you are? But before that belittling comment could even finish, the demonic cowboy would be sent flying backwards with a loud bang, skidding by his feet and completely off balance, while Gohan would just remain in front unmoved. What was that? Mortals can possess strength like this? As grabbing at his chest, the demon would be in some level of shock at what he had just felt, and with such speed, not even his quick-draw reactions could react. As Gohan would then be seen in a classic karate stance with his fist extended out, launched in a flash to let the demon Red know exactly who he was, as he coldly would then let out, "Enough talk. I've been fighting guys like you since I was a kid. Nothing you can say will change what will happen next. You're going to pay for what you've done to these people." How interesting. You will be the one to make me pay, huh? Well, be my guest. As now, with a sadistic smile, removing his mask to reveal an ugly scar, the demon's eyes, once white, would now begin to redden as the many veins within would begin to grow in anticipation. And moving his unarmed hand down to his side, he would grab onto what looks like a second weapon holster. As in true Red Dead style, Red would unleash a second demonic pistol that would then bear two insanely fast shots of pure energy right at Gohan, while jumping to the side at the same time. Striking Gohan for explosive impact, as just in the nick of time, he would manage to raise his arms to block. But even as Gohan would turn into a Super Saiyan 2 instantly, just as fast, Red would already find himself right behind the warrior from Earth, giggling away with his pistol already aimed. Wait, how did he... But before Gohan could even figure out just how fast his opponent really was, he would be struck again. But this time, right onto his undefended back, exploding violently into a mass of smoke. And not letting up one bit in his literal rapid-fire assault, firing multiple shots while dancing around acrobatically with a laugh as he would, the Demon Red would be completely barraging Gohan, slowly generating a gigantic mass of explosive dust and debris. Time to let these bad boys cool off. Seems even Lucis pistols overheat sometime. As finally back to standing and remaining in one piece, Red would finally be finished with his Western assault, his weapons bellowing smoke, as with a smile he would say, "Some hero you are, bub. So worried about sounding cool, you forgot how to dodge." But as the smoke would subside, though there would be no doubt that Gohan had indeed sustained damage, he would still be in one piece. On one knee and one hand now, he would grumble silently as he would attempt to get back onto his feet. Gohan! But seeing his partner in pain, Krillin would immediately yell out in concern, almost instinctively. But Gohan far more calm in comparison, would shut down any worries, as still with his eyes closed, he would let out softly, "Relax, Krillin. I'm fine. You should know by now. I'm just getting started." As suddenly opening his eyes with a smile, Gohan would reveal the mysterious red of his beast form eyes, now in early stages of activation. It would seem the young Saiyan had found a worthy challenger once more, and the real battle was about to begin. As in an alternate timeline, his own father would mirror him back in the demon realm, complete with his own new set of eyes, freshly activated after absorbing the Demon Emperor of Sector 4, Mellow. And as he would now walk through Sector 3, he would be well aware of just how barren the landscape had become. As with thunder roaring in the sky, he would comment, "Guess this is a change from the usual gimmicks. But this looks less somewhere demons would reside, and more like a battleground. I wonder..." But as he would turn his head only marginally to the right, up atop a small mountain, someone would be watching and waiting for him, leaving Vegito to mumble, "Well, would you look at that? Could that be who I think it is? An emperor expecting me?" As once we would zoom in, what we would see is a young adolescent-looking boy. His hair whiter than even the angels, as in juxtaposition, black horns would protrude out of his skull to complement his black and white garbs. As when he would open his eyes across his pale, almost anemic-looking skin tone, two sets of very strange and opposite eyes would be seen, but curiously, with no adorning speech or sentences from the figure. "Wait a second, a kid?" But as Vegito would fold his arms and address his watcher, he would let out, "Surely, you're too young to be an emperor. Perhaps you're just vertically challenged, malnourished as a child. I hope for your sake, that's the truth." But as now some semblance of sound would come from the mysterious demon, along with a conniving smirk, he would quickly then jump and begin sliding down the mountain as if there had been a trail to follow down. And within moments, his feet would make their landing, before finally opening his mouth for the first time. The child, walking forward with his hands in his pockets, would begin to say, "A kid, huh? Who knows anymore? I could be. Time is truly a blur down here, especially when I'm the only one left. If you ask me, I wouldn't be able to remember anyhow." Before now standing face to face with Vegito, he would continue, "You're the first person to step into this sector in so long. When I became emperor, the rest of the demons here disappeared. If you don't mind, I'd like to get to know you some more. Tell me, if I was a kid, would that mean you would take it easy on me? I think I did hear you were supposed to be some kind of hero." Hero? But hearing this, Vegito would mysteriously begin to laugh, closing his eyes as he would reply,
You demons really must have spent a long time gossiping over me. Seems every single one of you has a new presumption over who I am. But sorry to say, you all heard wrong!
As in a flash, instantaneously launching a kick with force into the demon. It would seem it would be with so much force, the young child indiscriminately would explode into pure blood. But with no body parts or internal organs to be seen, this may be more than it seems. As Vegito, on finishing his attack, would then stand still in thought, as all around him, a giant puddle of dark blood would lay all over the floor. And as he would stare now with his own face covered in blood, all he would have is confusion, just muttering,
What the? Did he die?
He really did attack me, with full force as well. Kid or not, you really don't care. As up in the sky above, the young demon would finally emerge again, levitating, but not by just his own free will, it would seem. As once looked at closer, the so-called Demon Emperor would be sat on a formulation of blood. Dark in color, it would bear more than a passing resemblance to a certain flying nimbus. As now grinning devilishly, the demon would say, You really are made for the demon realm. But I'm afraid I won't go down as easily as those lower emperors. This is my ability, but I'll let you figure it out for yourself. You know, becoming a demon emperor isn't all just about power.
Oh, I know.
Huh? As just as the youngster would naively say this to the god killer himself, right in his shadow, the glowing green emerald eyes of Vegito Seraphim would burn into the back of his head. Before, just as violently as before, the god killer would then slam his fist through, only to once again be faced with an explosion of blood, and this time taking a life of its own. The blood would not just fall to the ground, but immediately separate into parts, before then rejoining the streams into one singular point, creating a dark silhouette with a certain grin until... Another good try! Of course, the demon child, in quite familiar fashion, would be completely reformed and without a scratch on him. Annoying Vegito as he would crack his knuckles and comment,
This kid, he's just like Boo too. Just as expected, the stronger demons would have the most overpowered abilities. And this one seems to regenerate even faster. A power that could be useful.
But as Vegito would plot, the young emperor would just reach into his pocket. Before surprisingly bringing out a small knife, saying as he would wield it, I bet you're getting bored attacking and getting nowhere. No wonder nobody wanted to stick around here. What a bad host I am. Here, I'll make things more entertaining from here on out. As suddenly, without warning, the scene of self-inflicted injury, the demon, with with an indulgent smile, would stab himself twice in quick succession behind both of his shoulders.
Well, that's different.
As even Vegito, being perplexed by the self-wounding, would just wonder,
what's this freak planning now?
As while the Emperor would moan from his injuries, the seeping blood would not fall, but rather rise into the air until... Here! Now I'm ready to play as well! As now revealing himself with 2 extra arms made of his own blood, the young demon would stagger his stance into fighting position before...
Come! Don't leave me just yet!
Rushing forward on the offense for the first time, the true strength of the Sector 3 Emperor would finally be about to be witnessed. But curiously, Vegito would only invite this with a smirk, commenting,
Now that's a technique I haven't seen in a while. I'm sure Tien will forgive me for using this.
As Vegito, now roaring as if storing up power, would hunch his body over as 2 bulges would mysteriously appear on his back. And with a final scream,
come and get it, clown!
as now unleashing Tien's signature multi-arm technique, 4 arms of Vegito would now be ready to take on the 4 arms of the Emperor. A hand-to-hand battle like no other was about to go down. But that was it for today's video, guys, and if you made it this far, leave me a hashtag 4arms in the comments down below and let me know just how these 2 battles will end, or just find out now on my Patreon, where you can see the full next video, fully voice acted, soundtracked and edited for you to enjoy with over 4,700 other fans, as well as getting access to 250 plus other fan mangas too. It's the deal of the century.